We were very disappointed by a couple of senators, Republican senators, I must say. We were very disappointed that they would take the attitude that they did. At some point, there will be a repeal and replace. But we'll see whether or not that point is now or will it be shortly thereafter. But we are disappointed in certain so-called Republicans.
President Trump earlier today calling out, quote, so-called Republicans for deserting the party's last-ditch effort to change Obamacare. And then just moments ago came the shocking news that the Senate is pulling the Graham-Cassidy bill. So with health care change dead for now, will Republican leadership be called to account for their second stinging failure on the issue? Here now is Senator John Hoeven, a Republican senator from North Dakota. Senator, leaders get the job done. The Republican leadership has failed twice. Will someone there, in particular Mitch McConnell, be called to account?
I think the focus is getting on tax relief and getting it done by year end. And remember, we're not about giving up on repeal and replace. We have to continue to work to get that done. Hopefully we've made substantive progress. It's something I voted for a number of times already, and others have as well. And we hope we're getting enough progress made that we can get to the 51 votes we need.
But Senator, let's be honest. You've had two devastating failures on health care. The best you can do is move on to tax reform now. But if you're going to do that, don't you need a change in leadership? The leaders have failed your party.
I think what you have to keep in mind, David, is even when President Obama had 60 votes in the Senate, it took him till the second year of his administration to get it passed. We've made progress on health care reform. We're not giving up. We're going to continue.
Wait a minute. How have you made progress? You just failed for the second time in a couple of months.
By going through concepts that can work. I think if you looked at this latest legislation that we have found areas where we've built consensus, we've got to keep doing that to get the 51 votes that we need. And at the same time, pass tax relief. So it's an effort to do both.
Senator, you know how frustrated, forgive me, but you know how frustrated the American people is right now with Congress. Sure. I don't have to mention the polls to you. This failure today does nothing to encourage any sentiment that you're getting the job done.
David, then maybe you should talk to somebody who didn't vote for repeal and replace. I've voted for it 3 times now this year. I'm working hard to get it done.
But so your leadership has not succeeded in bringing the party together. Remember, the Democrats were all over the place before Obamacare. And like it or hate it, you have to admit that the leadership, the Senate leadership under the Democrats, got the Democrats together and passed Obamacare. Why can't Republicans do the same?
David, as I said, in the second year. They didn't pass it the first year. They passed it in the second year. I share the frustration. I agree we have to keep working on it. And again, our hope is to have tax relief done this year, repeal and replace done next year.
And with the same leadership. You're not going to. You don't think it's time to change the leadership?
I think the focus has to be on getting the job done. That's what we're focused on.
Well, that's what leaders are supposed to do, and so far they haven't. But we got to leave it at that. You understand our frustration, Senator.
Well, I share it.
Wish you the best of luck. Senator John Hoeven, good to see you, sir. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. You bet.